So we're going to start with property search. Do you have any properties that you're working on currently, like any listings?
I do have a listing that probably is gonna go off the market. I just have one listing. Do you need the address?
Uh-huh.
It's 4457 Winton Drive.
Wyndham?
It's Winton.
Winton.
Mm-hmm.
And notice how it starts auto-populating. It does that from.
Mm-hmm. That's easy.
So we're going to choose that one and we're going to say search.
Okay.
What'd you say that address was?
That was 4457.
It should have brought that up. Here we go. Right here, 4457. Normally it only
Mm-hmm.
brings the one property address up. Maybe I typed something wrong. But
Okay.
see this little wheel right here that I'm pointing
Mm-hmm.
at? We want to choose that little drop down arrow.
Okay.
So profile with comps, other reports, all this other stuff you're not going to need for now. We're going to work on profile with comps.
Mm-hmm.
So click profile with comps. Then it says, hey, on the comps, do you want 1 mile? How many beds? So we know it's got 3 beds. We want to choose
Mm-hmm.
three. Fast two, so that you get the most accurate. So update
Mm-hmm. Okay.
results. And then we're going to do generate profile. This part drives me insane. It's like watching paint dry, even though it's like 30. Okay, so click here to
Okay.
view report, or you can email the report from here. I view it. I don't want to just email something I'm not looked at.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This little house is the same one on everyone. So
Looks nice.
yeah, it's the same house on every report you pull. So it gives you the owner. Now
Mm-hmm.
this one says prepared by Delana, but when I put your stuff in, when you're
Mm-hmm.
signed in, it'll have all your information there.
Okay.
Gives you the map and parcels. Then it comes down and starts giving you the stuff you want to know. Primary owner, mailing address. So if they lived at a different address,
Mm-hmm.
that would be here. So I'm going to show you how
Okay.
to work that in just a second. But for this, it gives you the legal property characteristics, the stuff you realtors love that I'm like, I don't care about any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But here's what it gives you that you need to know. So the last time it was sold was 8/3/2022. It sold for 370,000.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the instrument number. And at that time, they took a first loan for 321.5.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to a listing appointment, you kind of know what's going on when you go there.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, give you
Right. It
more
should help.
info.
Well, it helps you win more listings because you know
Mm-hmm.
more than the other guy did. So you seem
Mm-hmm.
to have your shit together.
Mm-hmm.
None of us really have our shit together, let's be honest.
I
Assess,
never
you do not. I don't have my shit
I
together.
don't.
Some days I want it.
I
Assessment
just
tax information, it does that, the lovely clients like for listings and buyers, they love this little map where they can see the top of the property.
okay.
People are still awed by that. So then it goes back to giving you that detailed information we were talking about.
Okay.
August 3rd, transfer was 375, trust deed was 321.5. Even the title company it closed with, even the mortgage company that did it, who the buyer was. And then right here, notice that um, this it looks like it may be running into two people. I don't know, but unless they did his deed wrong. Seller name gives you the prior purchase if you want to know that.
Okay.
it walks the title backwards for you. So notice this
Mm-hmm.
2017, 2016, 2013, 2010, 2009.
Hmm.
Here's where it gets really good. So 2005 was a mortgage that's probably still active out there. Not active as in they owe on it, active as in it needs to be released.
Mm.
So Tennessee's not big on forcing releases and not enough penalties. So I always recommend when you take a listing, you have us search it so that if this stuff is out there, we can go ahead and clean it up for you before you get a contract. So if you're
Oh.
seeing it here and you know it's not your people, 2005,
Mm-hmm.
2003, those are what's called prior unreleased mortgages. So
Hmm.
you'll eventually get down to your mortgage, which is right here. So it's good for you to kind of know what their payoff is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they got it in 2022 for this amount. So if you go down to 2025, it's going to tell you they owe about 306 on it.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? How important that is for your listing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Be able to, especially if you walk into a listing appointment and you already know this information.
Yes, you didn't even have to ask. I mean, sometimes they don't even know how much they own.
Right. But this is assuming they paid all their payments on time. They're not in
Mm-hmm.
foreclosure. They're not late, blah, blah, blah. So,
Mm-hmm.
but it gives you more information than you had before.
Mm-hmm.
So then the next thing it does is your neighborhood comps. This is, something maybe if you had a dispute with an appraiser or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and it tells you you can pull comps on MLS, but this kind of tells you a range of whether they were full transfers, they were short sales, REOs, distressed. So all of these were full sales. It looks like top tier price was 430, 314 was the lowest, maybe. And then it gives you the detailed view of each one of those sales. So if you're having to bat back and forth with your seller as to why this house down the road brought more money,
But
uh,
yeah, that's why this house, we're gonna take it off the market because he won't lower the price.
you won't lower the price. Yeah. Well, this
So.
may help you then. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Scroll down past those comps. Area analysis, it gives you price range in the last year has been 300 to 430. But you would have to show him, that 300 was just like your house. It's exact same.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Median value is 353. What does he have it listed at?
375.
Uh,
That's why.
Go 353. So here's where this is about to really matter to you. Okay. I love this. I get so excited about it. I'm a weirdo. We both know that. Next seller's map. So what it does is people own their home for 5 to 7 years, right? That's the
Mm-hmm.
turnover, 5 to 7 years. It gives you anybody in that radius, 2014, 2013, 2013, 2014. So it gives you the people in that subdivision or in that area that should be ready to sell.
Oh, okay.
And you can do view all records and it'll give you a bunch of them depending on how much you're looking to market.
Mm-hmm.
But, for realtors, you're kind of shotgun marketing. You're like, come one, come all. I'm a realtor, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is more like marketing with a rifle
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
you're targeting the people that should be in that time frame.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
you know that they have equity because it gives you the sales price. And if you
Mm-hmm.
pull each one of these, it would give you that same report that you got on the other guy.
Nice.
But no, it gets better.
Huh.
It floors me, all the things this does. But so this,
Wow, now I like you better.
I know you liked me before anyway.
That's good.
Um, and I'm very fortunate that you like me. Um, so if you were, say, gonna do just listeds,
Mm-hmm.
the list I would mail to. I wouldn't waste my money on the whole neighborhood. So I'm gonna close this one just to show you something else real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So it does commercial. So the building I'm sitting in now, and I also want to show you what it does. So I'm going to do that profile with comps. We're just going to look at the first page because it's going to say there's no
Mhm.
comparables because it's trying to do something else. But if you pull a property and remember where I showed you, it has the mailing address, blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah. So this property is that I'm sitting in is owned by Okie Dokie Investments.
Okay.
You think to yourself, who is Okie Dokie Investments? Because people hide behind a, even sometimes we're their registered agent so that they don't get stalked.
Mhm.
But if you go down here, Okie Dokie's mailing address is 3825 Bedford Avenue, Suite 102 in Nashville.
Mhm.
So if it was residential, not only do you have the investor who owns the home,
Mhm.
but now you know there's a renter in that house.
Oh, okay, okay. I see where you. Okay.
So not only can you work it from a standpoint of you're working the investor to see if they want to buy more
Mhm.
or even sell this one, but you can also work it from the renter standpoint of these people rent. These people
Mhm.
living at this house rent. So
Mhm.
that's why that piece of information matters to you so much. If
Mhm.
I Google 3825 Bedford Avenue, Suite 102, I know who it is because I know who my landlord is. But it's Steve Frederick is who it is.
Okay.
So that's one of the key features I think it does. So we're gonna pop over here. Don't worry, I'll send you this video because I know it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of info.
Right.
That's good though. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you go here to farming, so let's say you want to farm, it says, hey, you're about to lose your data. I'm like, that's fine. So what was that address we were working on?
Let me see. So 4457 Winton Drive. Mhm.
See, it came up. I don't know why it wants to pull that whole list. Okay. So you could choose, radius, you could choose the little square, round, whatever.
Mhm.
I choose the round. So it lets you drop the pins. And then I have trouble with this part, so no laughing. Okay, there we go. Hey, it worked.
What?
Pulling out the pins as far as you want the pin to go. Okay. So we're going to just set here for a minute.
Mhm.
Up here where it says add filters, this is where it's going to get really good.
Okay.
General, we don't care about that because we're searching by the pins. We're not trying to search by county or zip codes.
Mhm.
Property characteristics, what do you want to target? Do you want to target 5 bedrooms, 4 baths, three
Mhm.
bedrooms, 2 baths? So we're going to put in 3 bedrooms, 2 baths because that's what most people want, correct?
Yeah.
Notice it says property type townhouse, condominium, single family residence. So if you didn't want townhouses or condominiums, you would take that out. You
Okay.
can also drop down this box and get residential apartments. Notice I said apartments. So
Hmm.
they're all renters.
Yeah.
Commercial, industrial, vacant, whatever you're looking for.
Hmm.
So we're going to do, okay, in that circle, 3 bedroom, 2 baths, get count. And remember, it's only pulling that 4 to 7 year range, right? So
Hmm.
if we did just that, you would get 6,382. We don't want to market that, right? That's too broad.
Uh-huh. Too
Of course,
much.
we do if we have the money, but nobody has the money.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to have the money. So we're going to bebop on down here. Assessment, you don't care about any of that because tax value is never right. Other, you don't care any about that either. Custom filters you do care about because in that range, so if you said, hey, this 6,382 properties that came up, give me only the people who live out of state. So you know they're investors.
Mhm. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. So you just got real happy, right? Next seller. So remember that list that we said, hey, they sell to 5 to 7 years? So
Mhm,
if
mhm.
I turned that on and did get count again, it's only 268
Oh,
properties. So you can do 268
yeah,
mailer,
that's doable for sure.
manageable.
Mm-hmm.
So let's turn that back off because we're going to look at several things. Non-owner occupied, that's your renter and investor. So let's say filter on, get count. That's 1,480 rental homes.
Wow,
They're all renters.
that's crazy.
So I'm going to turn that back off. Recent change, you don't want that because they just sold or whatever. Full sale in the last 12 months, nobody cares about that.
Mm-hmm.
Empty nester, you do care about because as they get older, they're going to need to downsize. So if
Mm-hmm.
I turn that filter on, sometimes it's kind of hit or miss with that one. Nope, 932 properties who have owned their
That's pretty
house more
good.
than 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on what you want to market, even house number,
Mm-hmm.
odd house number, when would you use that? If it was on a road, say like Saunders Ferry, where on the left is even numbers and they're on the lake and you're looking for on the lake.
Okay. Oh, okay, I see. Okay.
So like if we wanted to just work that non-owner occupied, that would be, let's not do that one because that one's kind of hick. Mm, let's do this one because this is a little more manageable.
Mm-hmm.
932 properties, but I can also go up here and say limit records and only give me 100.
Okay.
And it would only give me 100.
Mm-hmm.
So I can download and view this completely. It doesn't cost me anything. It'll come out in Excel. It'll come out in a mailer, the little label. Uh,
Okay.
I can teach you at some point if you want to mail like letters to them that will do word merge where it addresses it to the borrower. But here's where this system gets even better. Now, there is a part, up until this point, I've paid for everything. If
Mm-hmm.
you decide you want to pay for something, you click that special tab there. So, custom filters, mortgage info, you only want to work that if you're working with a lender.
Mm-hmm.
You're not looking for to do refis. Leads, this matters because in this market, why do people buy homes or why do they change homes? Death, divorce,
Mm-hmm.
diamonds, marriage, they call it the 5 Ds.
More kids.
Yeah, our kids. So here it's saying, hey, what type of leads do you want? So affidavit of death, so somebody's died. So if a
Mm-hmm.
spouse has died, they're probably going to need to sell their property because um, statistics say that one spouse can't usually afford a property on their own anymore. If they file bankruptcy, then they may need to sell, especially within the next year or two, because sadly, but most people who file bankruptcy will file bankruptcy more than once. So
Mm-hmm.
if they file bankruptcy, they'll go back out and just get in debt again, which is
So
sad.
when they in that, the house is already pre-foreclosure or not?
Bankruptcy, no, because
I kind stop the foreclosure process,
right,
right?
no, not in bankruptcy.
Okay.
Bankruptcy stops foreclosure. So there's
Okay.
two types of bankruptcy. So chapter 7, where you discharge all your debt and you what's called reaffirm things you want to keep. Usually that's the house and the car,
Mm-hmm.
but those things have to be current for you to do that. So you have to catch
Mm-hmm.
them up for chapter
Okay.
7. Chapter 13, you take everything into it and you tell them your income, and then they tell you what you pay into the court,
Hmm.
which when they do that leaves you very little to live on. So most people at that point, after they've paid for a couple months, are like, oh, we got to do something else. We can't live like this. I
Yeah.
mean, literally. I did bankruptcy for years. Cash buyers, you would want that if you're looking for investors, maybe. Liens or like HOA liens, judgments. So if somebody's got a judgment, they're not paying their bills. Less pendants means like I sued, say I sued John for some reason. I would
Mhm.
file a lien less pendants in the county that he lives in to keep him from selling any of his properties. So that tells
Okay.
you when you pull that, that, hey, John has problems and John needs to sell his home. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Okay.
Notice of defaults, those are pre-foreclosures, but those are before, like you can go out and buy a foreclosure list.
Mm-hmm.
This is before that because the data that you're getting comes from all title underwriters. It doesn't
Oh,
come from
that's
outside of that.
awesome.
So if we wanted to choose notice of default in that same little circle, it says date of filing, I would say last 8 months, 10 months, because usually any further than that and they're foreclosed already.
Mm-hmm.
So just say 8 months and get count. Now there may not be any just because, yeah, because foreclosures have kind of stalled a little bit, waiting on the economy, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to take houses back. Now I could go make that circle bigger and it would show you some.
We'll show you. Okay.
So let me hang on, I'll show you. Remember, it's Premier Data.
Okay.
Notice of defaults last 8 months. Searchy, searchy, searching. That's one of the things, we're such an instant gratification society, just waiting on something to search. You're like, that's too
Yeah.
long. So in that circle that I made that big, there
Mm-hmm.
are 134 properties that need to be listed
Oh,
because if
wow.
not, they're going to foreclose.
And that's not expensive. I mean, it's what, $10?
Right? Now, here's the catch.
It give you only the address, or they give you the
That's what
phone
I'm
number?
fixing to show you.
Okay.
So, phone and emails. So, the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Tell it you want both phone and emails, and it will provide it if it has it. If it's
Okay.
out there to provide, it will give it to you. Now, that changes the price range, but of course, like with
Yeah.
you close all your stuff with me. I'll put money on your account.
Mm-hmm.
So, like this would be $30.82 if all 134 properties had a phone or email.
That's pretty
It
good.
actually doesn't, like you'll see here, it doesn't charge you for that if it doesn't produce one. So,
Nice.
for $30,
That's super easy because it does the skip tracing for you and everything. It's in
so I'm
there.
gonna choose pay now. I've got a credit. That's where I put money on my,
Mm, okay.
my billing address. Yeah, I know my card says John. I'm like, I'm not. So I'm going to pay for these and send these to you.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome. But thank you so much.
Um, well, eventually.
At some point.
It drives me crazy, Lewis. I know it's where
Mhm.
and plus I run 90. So I'm like, okay, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
you're like, yeah, that's true.
yeah,
This one's super
I'm
slow.
like, let's go. Now we have to wait. But it does a handful of other things, and I'll show you those. But for
Yeah,
the
well, that's super cool though. Like it
it
gets all
does
that
a lot of
info.
stuff, dude. And if
Mhm.
if you'll just use it,
But all you gotta do is just give them a call and be like, hey, you
yeah.
know, download a little script and just call them and get that listing.
Okay. So it says, hey, you paid. Okay, thanks. Give me the info. It's giving it to me. So it says, hey, how do you want these?
Mm-hmm.
So I can export it to a farm, custom, Avery labels, walking farm, print marketing materials.
Wow.
You can do almost anything you want to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So what I actually like to do is export it. Let's see. No, I don't want that. No, we don't want that. Oh, send data. Oh, I could just send it to you. We'll do that. Oh, good Lord, I don't need an email subject. I'll figure it out. Where is the little button?
To send that,
No,
pretty,
export form. Let's try form. Yeah. Remove duplicate. Yes. The farm is what gives me Excel. I was looking for the word Excel.
okay, okay.
Put this over in your screen. So it gives you the mailing address. All of the info you need is in this field.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if it gave you the name and phone numbers. Yep, some of them it
Yep.
did.
Yeah, there's phone numbers.
There's the phone numbers.
That's all you need.
Even gives you mobile phone numbers if they got it.
That's crazy.
So that at least gives you 135 somewhat warm leads to work on.
Well, yeah, it's something that you can start prospecting and
Yeah, these
just
are
call people.
pre-foreclosures.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, I don't know if you've ever worked those before.
With a system like that,
Well, like if you've never worked pre-foreclosures.
I'm actually starting doing that. I have a friend, he share a system with me, but it's nothing like this. They just give you the info, but sometimes it's not right, and it's just to me it's just like a numbers.
I don't know if the phone numbers are right or not. I couldn't
Uh,
tell you that. I've not had anybody come back and say, hey, this is not right.
yeah, no, but even that, like I know I have to call, I don't know, maybe 40 times to get a contact.
Yeah, of course.
So
I
it is
call
a
that
numbers game.
smiling and dialing.
Yep,
Smile.
that's it.
Um,
That's it. You get to dialing, and that's how you make money. So, I've
yes,
been calling.
yes.
We almost had a house under contract. So he does a lot of flips. So we was gonna share that, but the lady got the house through humanity something forgot. She got like super good deal out of it,
Yeah,
and the company had the first right to buy that house instead
first
of
right
us.
of refusal. Yeah,
Yeah, and so we didn't
yeah,
get
you
it.
weren't able to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's kind of how this works. Statistics, you won't use that because I don't think as a realtor you're even allowed to disclose the crime rate and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this little drop down box does all the same things that I just showed you, except for this right here, O&E quick check. Don't do that because it costs you $5, and that's the same thing as you emailing me and asking me for it, and my searcher does it for nothing.
Oh
That's
wow. Okay.
it says who owns it and what are the liens.
Oh, okay. Okay.
O&E stands for ownership and encumbrance report.
Okay.
So
Got it.
that's that system in a nutshell, but I want to show you two more things that's going to really help you.
That's a lot of stuff.
I know.
It
I
is.
let's go here. So one thing is stop running earnest money all over the place. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We have Earnest app. Have you used Earnest app?
No, but in some people ask me about it, I probably will start using that. It will
Yeah.
be easier.
The other way you can do it is from our website, submit a deposit. So Earnest app takes a debit card or a credit card, submit a deposit. This system takes a check. So if they input their checking information,
Oh, that's cool.
right, it rips it, it's like an ACH, takes it right out of their account and sends you a notification when they've made their earnest money deposit.
Nice.
So that's really nice just for you're not running checks all over town.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Um, the other thing is, wait a minute. This little pop-up drives me crazy, and I'm trying to do something else up here. It's like, hey. The other thing is, see this little calculator to the bottom right?
Mhm.
Get a quick quote, title insurance, or net sheet. I'm gonna click on net sheet just to show you real quick what it does. I have to change the password on this all the time because I forget it. There's only two passwords that operate my whole life. I'm sad. Okay, so if you're doing this one looks a little different than yours will look because I'm an admin.
Mhm.
But over here are calculators, seller, buyer finance. So let's just do seller. We'll do my house. Don't get excited. I just live in a little old farmhouse. So 102 McLeod Lane, closing date 5/20. The only thing you do have to put in is the correct county. It won't pull it.
Okay.
Sumner, let's say the sales price is 400,000. Let's say I owe 80 on it. Then it says, hey, is the seller paying owner's title insurance? So I have to check yes to get it to calculate it.
Okay.
Have the real estate taxes been paid for this year? No, because they're being prorated.
Mhm.
Say the listing agent, the commission is only 5% instead of 6. You can change it to 5.
Okay.
Then if you had more fees, like you wouldn't have a notary fee, but like if you had an admin fee,
Mhm.
you can add it. So like if you were adding like a termite or property inspection or something like that. So then I scroll all the way down and do calculate, and it does a net sheet.
Oh, okay.
So it does sales price, here's your payoff, this is what your tax prorations would be, title insurance, commissions, everything, and here's your bottom line. 104, 424.95 is what you would be paying, and this is what you'd walk away from the table with.
Wow. Yeah, that helps a lot to get
Right.
listings
So
because you actually show them how much they can
yeah,
make.
so it's in a great little, and when you sign up for your stuff, it's all your stuff here, not mine.
Mhm, mhm,
So say you're also working with a seller that you've gotten 2 or 3 offers on. Okay.
mhm,
I'm going to do edit. I'm going to say it's multi-offer. So now it gives me offer 1, offer 2. It clones everything and then you go down here and change it. So say this sales price is 420
mhm.
on that offer, but they're paying 6% on this offer.
Oh, okay, I see. That can be very useful for sure.
And then a charge, they're doing seller paid closing cost. Uh-oh. $10,000. Do add charge. Go down here and say calculate, and it puts the offers side by side for them so that
Mm,
they can choose what offer is best for them. And this one says, hey, you're walking away with 285.
mhm,
This one says you're walking away with 300, but offer 1 may be the stronger offer. Maybe they're paying cash.
mhm. Yeah,
And
maybe
I
less.
may say, well, I would rather take that cash offer at 285 than risk this guy not being able to get his financing together
Mhm.
and making 15,000 more.
Yeah, maybe they don't even want to do a home inspection or
Right.
something.
And
Yeah.
if you're in your portal, you can save them. Um, my typing is terrible today. I hunt pet most of the time anyway, just to be honest. Um, so I always have it. So if my contract comes through and I send it into Bell and something's different than what I told them, I can go back and say, no, this is what your calculator said it was going to be. You're going to give it to me for that.
Uh,
But that's you can do the same thing with buyer cash.
mhm.
So buyer finance, and you wouldn't care about the refinance.
That's so much things to like. to learn and so much stuff that can be very helpful like
Well,
this.
they're really cool tools, and we pay
Mhm.
for them, so you might as well use them, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Other thing it does do, if you ever choose to do it and you're in here, you can choose order and you can upload your contract if you're like weird about security. It
Okay.
does it encrypted. Most people don't do that.
Mhm.
All right, that's your learning today.
Cool. Hey, I
And
like it.
I'll send you the video because I know it's a lot.
Yeah, send me the video in how to log in into all this and definitely.
You got a welcome email for Title Toolbox. And then
Okay.
this one, you just have to go and set up this the first time you click on it, it's going to want you to set up an account.
Okay.
Um, that's it. Any questions?
No, no questions. It's super. I mean, I think I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna start making some calls.
Well, I mean,
Like,
I did
some
email
listen.
you that one so you could start making some calls. Let
Mhm.
me know how that goes. I've not pulled that list, but one other time for somebody, so um, it should help you.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna make some calls today, and that list I probably finish that in a couple, maybe 3 days. So hopefully get a listing.
Wow,
Yeah, I call like 2 hours every day.
you almost have to, to
I have
produce
to,
income.
yes, yeah.
Um, it's kind of the same with us because while you're out there looking for buyers and sellers, we're always looking for agents and
Hmm.
lenders. But so it's kind of different. It's the
Yeah,
same but different. I mean,
you gotta be on the phone all the time. Yeah.
yeah, of course we have employees, me and John, but bottom line is if we don't kill it, we don't eat. So
Mhm.
we have
Exactly.
these people employed. So
Hmm.
that's kind
Yeah.
of what I do and why I have Megan and Kenitha and a bunch of marketing and why we do all this crazy stuff.
Hmm. Hmm.
But hopefully these tools help you because I mean the
It
whole goal
definitely
is to
will.
help you grow your business.
No, definitely. If I get a listing from that list, and I definitely bring you coffee or something.
I'm not believing you on coffee anymore. Sorry, you missed your chance, buddy. You missed the boat. You got a free for all, Delana.
I
That
was like, don't leave,
this.
don't leave.
We keep her inside and we keep her locked down for a reason because she's very one love. I love everybody.
Oh
You
no.
you do realize that you are very attractive. I can't believe you even said that.
Really? I'm not. I don't think
Extremely.
so.
Women don't hit on you regularly.
Probably don't notice. Like I'm really bad at it.
I don't think you pay attention or something.
Ah,
Because I know that I've been places with you and watched women stare at you.
really?
Yes. Now I'll
I
point it out next time.
Yeah, let me know. Like who, because I never pay. Like I'm really bad
Don't
at
pay no attention. Apparently not.
never. Like never,
Okay,
never pay
well,
attention.
I've done a lot for you today. I've given you a lead source. I've showed you how to do earnest money, a net sheet, and built up your ego.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I needed today.
Go kill it, man. Go kill it. Make it a great day.
And
Talk to you
next time,
later.
let me know because I never pay attention. Like I don't know. I'm
I'll
really
point it out next time. All right. Talk to you later.
All right. Thank you so much. You have a good day. Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Well.